Hi,
It
how
is
are
Chris.
ya?
Hello. I'm doing good.
How is everybody?
It's good.
We'll take our minds off world events for a little while and just jump in and chat about, I guess, star seeds?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
solar
Archangel,
flare.
Metatron, star
Yeah,
seeds. We're talking
yeah.
about some. We could even talk about what's going on in the world right now a little bit too. That'd be interesting.
Metatron
I know
might want to talk
Julia
about.
is saying this is crazy that I'm here now. Yep, it is crazy.
Surprise, surprise. So, yeah, I was also thinking about chatting about the CME coming in today.
Hmm.
Coronal mass ejection from the sun, along with solar flares. Whew. So the highest one that's ever come in is a 7.1, and I guess today it's coming in and it's clocking at 9. So I was just going to ask you, have you noticed any ascension symptoms or any symptoms from this energy blasting us? I'm sure we'll see it with the Schumann resonance too.
Yeah, the energy's been quite intense for me
Yeah,
lately.
yeah,
And I've
me
noticed
too.
I've needed to kind of rest a lot
Yeah,
more.
yeah,
And also just my overall general mood hasn't been the
yeah.
best. So I've been just kind of feeling like I need to take a step back within a lot of things in my life, and and I feel better just kind of resting
Yeah,
more so
yeah.
now.
I've noticed I try to rest, but then I'm kind of tossing and turning. My dreams are super vivid. I get hot and then I cool down, and that's a sign of energy, pummeling the body. When your mind and your body don't really know what's going on, it goes into these really intense kinds of dreams as the body is getting washed with a lot of this energy. And I've
Roller
also
coaster.
yeah, it's a real roller coaster. And I've noticed I'm kind of queasy, like I'm like nauseous. And so I want to eat and I go to eat, but I can't eat, or the texture of the food, which is not like me. So I'm chalking it up to the energy as well. And the mindset goes and then I rein it back in and then I redirect it, but I'll notice same thing. I also notice my chakra centers are really opening and a lot of energy funneling through. Have you noticed that too?
No, not
Huh?
really. Well, I've
Huh?
just been taking more of a rest, and
Yeah.
my chakras haven't been even feeling that open. And
Mhm.
I've just kind of just taking a break from like connecting as much because I was connecting a whole lot, and feel like I got burnt out
Yeah.
and didn't,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So that's partially me.
And the collective frequency too on Earth, the collective consciousness and what's unfolding, it does impact whether we think it does or doesn't. And it's good to get out and go and ground in nature and eat really good uh, grounding foods. Any vegetables that come from the earth, anything that's going to help ground your energy. Metatron I find is really connected with star seeds. And so I'll meet friends of mine and they love Metatron, whereas I'm more drawn towards Archangel Michael. So if I'm not drawn towards Metatron, does that mean I'm not a starseed?
Well, I think that most people on Earth are starseeds. It just some people have stronger starseed energy than
Yeah,
others. So it's just like
yeah.
those people that have real strong like starseed energy. A lot of times they've kind of worked with Metatron on the other side, or
Hmm, hmm.
they're more connected with him. And then people that maybe have more Palladian lifetimes, a lot of Earth lifetimes, I feel like they're a lot
Hmm,
of times connected to Archangel Metatron,
hmm.
and they really resonate with him
Yeah.
because his domain is really Earth, and he's kind of the commander in chief here on Earth. So it's just like Metatron's like the commander in chief of
All
other planets
Yeah, all
as
planets
well.
where
Yeah.
we or non-planets
Hmm.
or non-physical bodies where you're incarnating. It's interesting because I always looked at it as being starseeds are only in other physical bodies, like Lyran, Arcturian, Andromedan, Pleiadian, Sirian, and Greys, Reptilian, Mantis. We can go on and on. But I'm also seeing starseed lifetimes in other experiences where it's in the non-physical. Like if you look at Abraham Hicks and Abraham is channeling through her, then you're looking at that's not physical, but it's still an experience to be had by many energies at once. So it's really
Mhm.
fascinating, all the stuff we've learned over the years
Yeah.
just by channeling spirit. It's amazing.
Yeah,
When you,
and if any of you guys are really interested in channeling spirit, we have the Mediumship for Beginners course coming up really soon here, and it's really cool. It's only for, is it 1 week or two
it's going
weeks?
to be for a whole week.
Okay, for 1 week,
Yeah.
and that's why I like it. Is it's not too long, not too drawn out, and you'll see a lot of people that come up with these mentorship programs, and it's like $600, it's 6 weeks, and they're the mentor, and they're the ones that are teaching you. The cool thing about the Mediumship for Beginners course is we're all kind of growing and learning together. It's
Mhm.
not one guru, preaching to the choir the entire time and kind of think this is how you do it and blah blah blah. It's more of everyone's kind of like growing together, and that's why I really like it. It's more of like a community, and it's a lot cheaper than a lot
Oh,
of these
yeah.
mentorship programs that people did. They call it, it's funny that they call it like the elite mentorship program, and it's like $800 or something. But yeah, this one's much cheaper, and if you want to go check it out on Kristin's website, mediumship, or I mean, KristinDaviesMedium.com, it'd
Yeah.
be really cool.
Yeah. And also, if you are drawn and you feel like you're thinking about it a lot, then definitely come.
Hmm.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We already have a quite a large group of people signed up thus far, so it's going to be awesome, and I can't wait. It's teaching everyone what the angels have taught me over the past 20 years. So that's what I teach, and that's the direction I take.
Hmm.
And we use oracle cards or angel cards, and same thing, oracle angel cards. And we also practice channeling off of those. We're going to learn more about our
Hmm.
starseed origins, connecting with ascended masters, connecting with your loved ones. It's going to, and your, of course, most importantly, your spirit guides and your guardian angels, because they're here with you all the time. They're watching over you all the time,
Hmm. Yeah, a lot
which
of
is really
people
cool.
are quite hesitant to even like go into that realm in the first place. So that's why I
Would you?
really like the Oracle
Yeah,
cards.
yeah.
It kind of
It's a
like
good bridge to
gets
get
you,
you
yeah.
there.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, the reality is we're all mediums and we're channeling all the time. It's just that we're doing it unconsciously, or you kind of catch on to certain things that energy is sending you, gut feeling, strong intuition, the phone ringing and you know who it is, or you just know something, or a really great idea pops into your head claircognizantly. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people think it's a lot more complicated than it actually is. Like,
Yeah.
oh, some of the people, one of the person in the course, I remember last time, like, oh, this is just practicing like intuition. This is not actually channeling. I was like, okay, if you wanna trick yourself out like that, but really, it's all of this, all of our spiritual abilities are kind of like channeling in a way, and it's ever expanding. People think it's more complicated than it is
Hmm.
what I was first say.
Hmm.
But really, picking up things with your intuition, picking up things with all the different clairs that we have to offer in the human body, I think it's really cool that we get to practice all these in the course. Feeling,
Yeah.
which is a huge one
Yeah.
that not a lot of mediums talk about.
Clairsentience.
A lot of people are always, yeah, clairsentience. A lot of people are
Busy,
always up here,
busy up here
and
a lot of time. Yeah.
I think that's the first rule of channeling is kind of coming down into the heart a little bit more
Yeah.
and kind of quieting down the mind because we are very busy up here. I'm busy up here a lot, especially with a lot of technology that we have now. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I need to like go out in nature for a little bit or something.
I think maybe that's why it was easier for me because, growing up, I didn't have as much technology and I always loved being outside, running around outside. So maybe that's what maybe made it a little bit easier. But I'll tell you, I was as unawake as anybody else was. I could care less. Like for me, really, it was a real shocker when my guardian angel opened up in front of me and then slowly passed through my body. Uh, yeah, that woke me up. That was the beginning of my awakening, along with health issues. We always have something that's going to help awaken us, whether it's a collective experience of what's happening on Earth or it's an individual experience that's happening with you directly in your life, or a combo platter.
Mhm.
So, let's talk about what's happening with the CME floating off, coming and bursting from the sun. That's going to impact us. And if you find your mindset kind of goes in the doldrums a bit or is a bit negative, just take your attention off of it. Go do the dishes, go do laundry, go dance, go vacuum, go outside for a walk, go in the car. Just take your mind off of it as best as you can. And I think this energy is meant to kind of churn things up. Before this was happening, I noticed the energy was really trying to get us to rest and subdue a lot, like keeping the peace
Hmm.
on earth almost like so.
Yeah.
And so it's really important during this time.
Yeah, because the reality is, whether we want to believe it or not, or the collective is going through a shit time right now, and a lot of people are having a hard time just
Yeah.
surviving out there financially, and
Yeah.
especially with the inflation that's been happening past 4 years, people are not happy. A lot of people are not happy,
Yeah.
and money is a huge part of that, and abundance is a huge part of that. People aren't able to live the same lifestyles as they once were. And overall, there's just an undertone of just negativity and kind of chaotic energy around on Earth and the collective right now. Even when you just turn on your phone and look at all the
Yeah.
stuff that's happening now, and with the election coming up too, it's pretty crazy, and people really are not happy. And this is kind of welcome to the new Earth, everyone.
Yeah, I
This
would
is not.
hear I'd hear my guardian angel say that to me about in 2020. She said, "Well, welcome to the new Earth, Kristin."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What? I'm excited for this." Well, apparently I did. But the thing is like I think you have to go through difficult stages, difficult times, which forces you to wake up. And if you don't
Hmm.
awaken, then it's not going to be an easy time of it.
Hmm.
So for
Even
me,
even if you do awaken, you're gonna have a hard time with it.
well, I mean, it depends on the perspective. Here's the difference between, I think, you and me, is I've had a lot of Pleiadian lifetimes, and you have had a lot of Blue Avian and Avian lifetimes. So coming to Earth, you look at how is it going to be? It's going to be automatically, well, we didn't know this before, channeling all these years for individuals. I, it's going to be an easier time of it for someone that's had a lot of Pleiadian lifetimes. The frequency uh, is it's a easier transition to Earth. It's easier to I just seem to be able to pull from more of that Pleiadian energy, and I'm well aware of it. So although I never grew up thinking I was a star seed, probably for two reasons. I wasn't like a lot of the individuals that I see coming to me nowadays, where it's really hard and difficult, or there's some parts of it that are tougher, like why am I here? This isn't my home. Two reasons. I've had a lot of Pleiadian lifetimes, which helps me seem to pull from something to make it easier for me. And two is I've had a lot of incarnations on Earth, and I knew that from a young age. A lot of but if you haven't had a lot of incarnations on Earth, or you've been in vastly different vessels other than human or Pleiadian, then it is going to feel a lot like a round peg trying to be shoved in a square hole. It's going to be tough. It is going to be tougher, harder, and we might have to figure out, what our sex is. We might have to figure out what our sexual preferences when dating. It might be completely different, and it's a completely different experience. But like I hear the angels say, having change and difference and uniqueness is a good thing. The archaic old way, or the common way of doing things on Earth, is just not.
And we're going to be
It needs to
channeling
change.
Archangel Metatron coming up here. So if you have any questions in the
Yeah,
comments, just let us
yeah.
know.
Let
And I
us
want to
know.
get you guys more engaged
Yeah,
in stuff as well.
yeah. So, so with star seeds, we have our origins of where we've been other than human on Earth. We have some of the souls that we've incarnated with in other vessels. Okay. So if I'm a Pleiadian, I may have some Pleiadian energies. I call them our starseed family members. They could be friends or family members that we've had. I look at it as like a fractal of the entirety of your soul housed in another vessel. And now I have a part of my soul housed in this vessel. It's a fraction or a fractal of that. And then we have these individuals coming and helping us on earth along with your spirit guides and your guardian angels. We also have starseed family members, and I typically will see 1 to 3 starseed family members with each person on Earth. Once in a while, I'll see none. Does anybody think, like, why is it that we would see no starseed family members with you? It's just that during this stage in life and maybe your awakening process, you just don't need one. It could be everything, everybody else has got things covered, or it's just not necessary at this time. But usually I'm seeing these starseed family members. They're helping us with awakening. They're helping us with ascension. They're helping us grow here on Earth and any bumpy times that we have here on Earth as well. Hello, hello. So yeah, if you guys have any questions that you want to ask Archangel Metatron, we're going to delve in there. Archangel Michael is really focused on Earth. I think my soul is really focused on Earth too. And I feel like I'm going to come back here repeatedly. And I think that's maybe why I'm drawn to Archangel Michael. Whereas some of my friends from Ireland, they're super drawn to Metatron. But I can feel it from them that they've had a lot of different lifetimes off Earth. And being here on Earth is can be sticky for them sometimes. It's difficult. And so it's cool to hang out with different people from all over the world and see what it's like and where they've been. So let's delve in and let's channel a message from Archangel Metatron, and then if anybody wants to ask any questions, type it in the comments. Okay, well
Okay.
I'm getting I'm getting greetings, dear ones. He's right above me. So how do I know where he is? All I have to do is quiet my mind, and then you just feel, where is it that energy is bombarding your body? You might feel him on the left or the right or above you. It would be this similar as like when you turn your face into the sun. If I ever want to know where my guardian angels are around me or my spirit guides, I just say I'm looking for my guardian angel. I just turn my face around in the room and I see where the energy bucks up against my face. So I have him shining down, or if you will, his energy is just showering me from above. There is a time when each of you will need to give thought as to how you want things to be here on earth in the future. This isn't just about woe is me, life is hard, things are tough, things are difficult. You have a say, you have a voice. Speak up, voice yourselves. Be sure to, uh, I'm getting the word vote, and also give your opinion. Don't sit back and, do you want to use a different word? Sulk. He was using more of an elaborate word, but he narrowed it down to sulk or sulking. Okay. How do you want things to be in the days ahead? How have you enjoyed the past? Which years were the best for you? Wake up and see and view things with clarity. Nothing lasts forever. Even these leaders with whom you put into power will only be in power for a certain period of time. Some of you might say, luckily, and others of you might say, yes, good. Hopefully they stay there for the whole duration. Irregardless, how do you want things to be on Earth in the future? And then he shows as if I'm stepping forward, and I'm stepping. Step forth in the direction that you would like to see not only yourself individually, but the masses on earth moving in what direction. Some of you may be able to interact or influence many, some of you only a few, but rest assured, you individually can move mountains, can make great progress and great changes. How do you want things to be? And now he's dusting off his hands and he's leaving that question in your hands. Okay?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask a question that Metatron Infinity Flowing has about what is his healing all about? She's heard about Metatron's Metatronic healing or something.
That
But yeah,
cube
that'd
of
be cool
his
one.
that he has,
Yeah.
it's incredible. One day he decided to use that cube on me and the other person that
Mhm.
was on the phone with me. And we were just like, holy smokes. And he was just moving it through my body and the other person's body very slowly. And it was a way of him using it to clear and cleanse your body of anything that's heavy or low vibrational. So if you get worked up and angry or upset about things on a regular basis, that energy has to go somewhere. If you're not speaking up and using your voice, if you're not getting it up and out of you by complaining to the angels, by complaining or talking or debating, okay, and we're stuffing things down, that'll be him coming in to clear that out. But also, if it's perpetual heaviness that you can't shift, he'll come and shift it for you. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Well,
amazing.
I'll go on to the next one. I'm gonna ask Metatron about uh how do we best support ourselves around us this time during such rapid change. I'm gonna ask him about that. So what he's saying is to just he wants us to just rise in frequency and to not focus on others as much during this time. So if you feel like you need to help others or do a lot of things to help others, it's almost about like rising up ourselves, building up the self-love
Mhm.
uh, for ourselves, and in turn, that's going to help the others around us. So it's not necessarily about going around and helping the other people in your life or something. Because sometimes people don't necessarily want the help he's talking about. So
Mhm.
it's not about that.
You have to have the energy to give help too.
Hmm. So it's not now we're just saying kind of to hold back a little bit right now at the moment. And then when you feel guided to do that in the future, this will be the time to do it. But right now is not the time to do it as much.
Also, here I'm talking about growth and change is
Hmm.
the way of the soul. You're here for growth and change. And if everything is comfortable and pleasant, then it doesn't move things or shift things. So just to recognize that as things are moving and shaking on earth, and to recognize that you don't have to be in alignment with other people's beliefs, but you do have to go within and see what resonates intuitively, gut instinct wise, and that's really important moving forward because your intuition and your gut feeling will always move you and steer you in the right direction. And that's crucial. But we got to get out of here and create stillness long enough to feel where he's steering you. So if I, what are you saying, Metatron? What are you saying? So that's those are some of the things that I I love to teach in the course to show people how to channel. It's so imperative. I think
It gets exhausting after a while if you're always up in the head.
it
That's what I've
really
realized.
does. It's very tiring, very tiring. And the thing is, when maybe it's, I don't know, it's I've been through individual rocky days personally with health issues and etc. over the years. So when I see things getting rocked around me, I notice it, but I don't know, I'm just, whereas if you haven't had anything rock you hard in life and then you see what's happening, it can be a bit overwhelming or too stimulating. Or sometimes as a star seed, you can be more sensitive and open and picking up on the collective. That's why it's so important for you or anyone to rest, go out into nature, ground your energy. This is a great way to ground your energy with a nice hunk of rose quartz. And the angels have taught me to put it down by your pubic bone, and it'll help open your three lower chakras and clear them and ground you to the earth. So we're not going to be in a fearful mindset as much. We're going to be more open and fluid. Hmm. Hmm. So take those moments when you're in the bathroom, in the car, out for a walk. I'm going to practice 30 seconds of stillness in the mind. I'm going to practice a minute. I'm going to do this multiple times a day and make that the dominant way of being rather than what we've been taught and what we see everyone in society doing, which is a lot of negativity and a lot of in the head a lot.
Mhm.
So now we're going to do this direction. You just as easily as you can create chaos and overthinking, you can easily move in the direction of more peace, stillness, quiet. It's a wonderful place to be because that's where you're going to hear spirit come through. You're going to give them space and room to communicate with you. You're going to step aside and let the ego do its thing and view it, but not be a part of it. Is a wonderful place to be, and that takes practice. Hmm. Beautiful.
Hello, if you have any other questions, let us know for
Okay.
Archangel Metatron or else anything else that you would like to know about. Just let us know in the comments. And
There's
yeah,
a there's a portal right near where I live, and it's right at the park where I like to sit. And he knows that I like to sit there, so he's opened this portal there, and he'll often come through. He knows when I'm sitting there. There's no space-time constraints. He's omnipresent. He knows where I'm hanging out. He knows when I'm quiet and still at the park, and he takes opportunities to come and chat with me there. And he'll steer me and direct me. He Metatron sounds more like direct. His energy feels more centralized and direct to me. And whereas Archangel Michael, for example, is like cracking jokes and trying to make you laugh, and then he can be very serious. And I feel Michael really oversees this planet, whereas Metatron is overseeing many planets and many different souls. And he's very much connected to those of us that I guess you'd call it island hopping or body jumping, where we go and we have a good time. Like with Paul, for example, I've seen you as a blue avian, I've seen you as a red avian, I've seen you as other different avian species, I've seen you as an Arcturian. So, what are some of the characteristics of being an Arcturian?
Arcturians are more analytical and
In the mind,
they're not yeah in the mind more, and they
hmm
navigate this reality through their mind. And
sometimes overthinking,
yeah,
overanalyzing,
usually
left brain
they're very
oriented,
intelligent, so they
very
kind of go
intelligent.
into careers
Yep,
like
yep,
doctor or
yep.
engineer. A lot of engineers that are like that.
So,
And
like, I would notice over the years, like a lot of the people that live in Korea, Japan, China, m- pretty much all of them have had a lot of Arcturian lifetimes. A lot. I've had two, not many. I dip my toe in the water. it wasn't the right temperature and I vacated. So I've tried out other lifetimes, but I've seen a lot of souls like this. Now, what are some of the characteristics of Pleiadians?
Oh,
If you've had a lot of Pleiadian lifetimes,
we
what
don't
would be
need to
some of
go through the characteristics because we're already seeing them with you. Just kidding. So they usually laugh more, they smile more, they're more earthly, they are more grounded, more in the heart center,
yeah,
able to express themselves through the heart center,
yeah,
usually have some more self-love, and they're
pull
more
from
used
that.
to the human body, which is something that's pretty huge. And a lot of other starseeds don't really get that. They're not connected with their body or their at all. They're just kind
Probably
of
doesn't feel
like, yeah,
entirely comfortable in this
it
meat
doesn't even
sack. Let's be
feel
real.
like their body,
No,
so.
and or even if they're in their body. But what I commonly will hear from the angels for those individuals is bring your energy back into your body because it'll make this life experience much easier rather than hovering and floating outside your body. If you're hovering outside your body, you'll know this because you'll be more ungrounded. You'll be spacey. You'll forget things. And then when you are thinking about things, you'll be over here, over there. Your mind will be racing in multiple different areas. You might lose things or
Yeah.
misplace things. So we bring ourselves. We try to do our best to bring ourselves back into our body by eating grounding foods, creating stillness, maybe meditating, maybe asking to help. Ask the angels to help bring your energy back into your body. Ask Earth to ground you in your body repeatedly throughout the rest of your lifetime. The Earth will pull you back into your body repeatedly.
Hmm.
Okay, so what happens when we're grounded? Now I'm in my body. Oh, I don't lose things as often. I don't misplace things. I am very aware of how I'm feeling and what I'm sensing energetically around me.
Hmm.
I am I'm more calm and my mind is more still and quiet and more peaceful.
Yeah, but also in reality, when we're going through a difficult time, there are times that we need to escape and just kind of like do an escape. But the best thing to do is to do it in a more of a healthy way, not try to do it with alcohol or drugs or anything like that. Just try to kind of distract yourself with other things, whether it's TV shows or anything, just to kind of get through that time, that difficult time that you're going through, instead of just trying to say, "Oh, I'm peaceful and grounded and I'm perfect all the time." That's
Mm,
also not something that is realistic for
mhm.
everyone at
Face
every
things when
point in
you have to
time.
face them,
Mm.
but also
But yeah, I
don't,
definitely like
don't stay there.
even now when I go through like more difficult times, I'm still a lot more grounded than I used to be.
Hmm,
So
hmm.
that's also a good
Yeah.
thing.
So everything emits energy, right? So when you have a crystal like this, rough cut's even better. It's rose quartz. It's very high vibrational. And you place that near your lower three chakras on your pelvic region. Your sacral chakra is where your uterus region is. Okay. Your solar chakra is just above your belly button. And then you have your root chakra, which comes up in between your legs. Sometimes we need something energetically like this to sit there to help ground us while we're behind our electronics or we're on watching TV or
Mm.
whatever we're doing. And that will help to open and clear those three lower chakras, connecting you to earth, connecting your energy. If you don't want to use this, you don't have to. Okay. You can simply ask the earth to come up and do that for you. But this, I certainly noticed right away, those chakras started to open and connect. Okay. And it's not in the crotch per se, it's right above your pelvic bone, which is right next to your sacral chakra. That's why it's placed in that region.
Yeah, and those of you joining just now, I see some of you. And if you have any questions for connecting with Spirit or connecting with Archangel Metatron, we've been channeling him some in this live. And if you have any questions for us in general, we would happily answer them.
You know, when you come out of sleep or you come out of a nap or you come out of meditation and your mind is nice and quiet, those are the moments to pounce in a sense of sitting with stillness and seeing what they'd like to say to you. And at first, I would see everybody channeling, and I would say, "Oh, I'm going to hear it. I'm going to hear it outside my head." It's actually your own thought forms forming in words that they are creating within your mind that sounds like your internal voice. Okay. And then over the span of a year of practicing channeling your guardian angels or your spirit guides, those words and that energy starts to shift and change into their pitch and tone of voice. Okay. And their energy more so. So it's a very gradual, comfortable process. There's no one here wants to like worry or fear, create fear or concern. And
Yeah.
that's what it makes it comfortable.
Mhm. Is everything we want to happen just in our own hands, or does Metatron ever influence events that happen here on Earth?
I'll let you go ahead take that one.
Okay. He's saying, yes, the angels, they do influence uh, things that happen here on Earth. Uh, but they say the biggest impact on how they're able to influence Earth is to help the inhabitants of Earth raise in frequency so that they can change Earth from within because they know that this is the most profound way to change. The biggest amount of change that comes on Earth is to the people that are actually incarnated here. So that's what they are mainly focused on at different points in time. But he's saying, yes, they do try to make it to where what is best for humanity at that point in time. That's what they are kind of pushing for growth and what's going to be the best going forward into the future. He knows that it's very tumultuous right here now on Earth, but he's saying whichever way things happen in the next few months, with the election, all of these things that are happening, whichever way it goes, the light always wins. So it's always going to come back to the light, and always this is where Earth is going. And he's saying overall he's quite happy where humanity has gotten so far, just because of he's seen where humanity's come from and where it's come from in the past. He's saying it's come from a lot of darker places as well, and life's a lot easier for most people now than it even was 100 years ago, and just the quality of living and etc.
Nothing taught us that more when we did that remote viewing class. Do you guys remember that? Remote
Oh
viewing the
yeah,
dinosaur age? That was so heavy and so dense, and the planet was almost dormant.
yeah.
And there was very little to no consciousness on the planet.
Mm,
And so from there to now, I get it now.
mm.
I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
this is where we are.
and
Yeah, do you remember
you'll
that?
notice certain locations that I know that you mentioned certain locations as where sometimes the earth it feels more dormant and you can't
Yeah,
necessarily connect with it as
yeah,
much or hear the trees talking, stuff like that. And then you'll
yeah.
go to other locations where everything's kind of more awake, the trees are kind of talking, and it's really interesting to see the contrast between different places. And that's something that I've noticed is a huge thing too. Like in Alabama, that's what it's kind of like. It's like things are a little bit more dormant,
Mhm.
and it also has to do with the collective consciousness there as well.
Yeah,
Also responding like the collective is not out in nature as much or going to connect with nature as much, so it's kind of more dormant. But
yes.
more places where people are more awake, a lot of
It's
times I
way
notice that
different.
the trees are more awake,
Yeah.
everything's more awake. It's really weird.
Even my chakras are more open. The trees are chatting me up. I've got elemental energies chatting me up. It's like, it's a lot. Like it's everything's more open and the veil is thinner, so you can pick up on the energy all around you much more fluidly. Although this past summer I went to a place where there was an island with 1,000-year-old trees. It felt like I went back to almost to the
Hmm.
Jurassic state. I'm walking through, and the trees are beautiful. You can see this is pristine, untouched wilderness for over 1,000 years. It hasn't been logged. No one's been there. Everybody does this one little loop on this one little section of the island. And I'm thinking, wow, it's going to be great to connect with these trees. They were all like dormant, like sleeping. And I'm like, hello? No one home. So what I realized is they're just holding the energy for the earth. So they're taking in the energy into the earth and helping the earth that way. But there was not much chat going on. They're all like kind of sleepy.
So Earl Drawings is saying, Archangel Metatron, what should I do with my life? What do you want to do with your life?
Here we go. It comes down to clarity. Smooth out the crinkles. Anything that is not serving your highest and best good, it's time to shift it out. So, what does that mean? People that are influencing your life in a low vibrational way, your own thoughts that are drowning your mind, simply ask for those to be in. It's almost like infusing white light. So, ask him to infuse your mind with white light in order to transmute the low vibrational thoughts. This will help to bring in clarity and fluidity as to what direction is best. If we are focused in areas which are not in alignment with our highest and best good, not serving us that well, and very heavy, low vibrational stuff, then how do we see what the path is ahead? It's kind of hard to see through that, isn't it? It's like seeing through fog when you're driving down the road. So, what we're asking him to do is infuse white light through your mind in order to transmute, okay, anything that's heavy and low vibrational to bring about clarity as to the path ahead. The other thing that I get, I don't know if you feel this, but this other path, it's maybe difficult for you to see, but what they're showing me is I'm right here, but the other path that's opening up that looks really good, and they're showing a lot of like golden light, and they're showing me a road, which usually I'll see a path in the forest, but today I'm seeing a road. So this is opening up right in front of you. So I don't think that this is going to take very long. It's not coming in years. This to me feels like months. So I'm just confirming. I see this as being in 9 months' time. So that to me is right around the corner. That's coming. So let's ask for him to just clear. We don't have to be what everybody else wants us to be or expects us to be. Be unique, be you, be true to yourself, and that is all that matters, and that is what matters most. That came in simultaneously, those last two. So that's all that matters, and that's what matters most. And the other part of it is you'll find other individuals that are similar or like yourself to befriend who will help you and assist you in the near future as well. And I feel like that's tied in with this path. So if you feel isolated or alone, like there isn't anybody else like you in your life, know this, that will change soon.
Mhm.
Okay.
For sure.
And now he's clapping, which
Hmm.
is he's happy and he's cheering you on. Okay. You can speak with him as often or at any time that you wish. He will hear the thoughts in which you house in your mind or the words that you speak aloud. Everything that we say and think is energy and it's sent out and they pick up on it like that.
I think Stone was saying earlier about asking a question about the world events, but she was
Oh,
saying I feel separated from people, like hanging around and having fun with
yeah,
some friends, but I
yeah,
just feel like I can't relate to most people.
yeah,
It's like thus now more than ever. Yeah, it does feel like that for a
yeah,
lot of people now. And I notice even like with
100%.
my generation,
Yeah.
a lot of the relationships and the friendships that you have, they're kind of more superficial. And
Mhm.
it's like almost like, okay, now it's meant to go on to something else, maybe in the future, or maybe it's meant for me to kind of just be feel isolated for a while so that I can kind of focus more on myself.
Yeah.
Because
There's
honestly,
great
yeah,
beauty in being isolated on your own. You get to focus on your own energy and self-love. And the angels will often tell me the most important thing to learn and get while we're here is self-love.
mm. Because
And if you,
ever
yeah,
since, yeah, self-love is huge.
yeah. So if you find it difficult to do that, then try practicing looking yourself in the mirror, look yourself in the eye and say, I love you. And you're going to feel a lot of resistance through your body. But when you say it out loud like that, say go with like 10 times in a row, 3 times a week. By the end of the month, it will drastically shift
Mm.
because what you're sending out, you create. You are the creator of your
Yeah,
reality,
and
right?
the cool thing about self-love is that once you build that, you always have something. You always have that light within you. You always can tap into that. And that's something that's just freaking huge because otherwise, if you don't have that, you're gonna go to low vibrational friends,
Low
do
vibrational
low
thoughts bouncing
substances, whatever
around.
it is. But yeah, I do feel you though. At the same time, I like having other friends
Yeah.
around and hanging out with people and stuff. But really, ever since phones came around, things are more superficial. Everything's more superficial.
Yeah.
Friendships, a
Yeah.
lot of things, especially with my generation. And that's why I think I've gotten along with a lot of older people because I was like, I just can't connect with a lot of the people that are my age
Yeah.
anymore. And it was kind of frustrating for me.
Mhm.
Uh, because a lot of people they would just want to play video games all the time, or they
Yeah.
want to do this, and I'm like, that's okay, and it's okay
For
to
a
have
time.
like kind of friendships like that, but I want to build like actual relationships where people actually talk to each other in real life. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a new thing that they're inventing now. I think that's pretty cool, but yeah, no one really does that anymore.
One thing that I'm hearing from him is that these stages of alone time, he's not saying loneliness. Note this, okay? He's literally backing me away from loneliness. He's saying these stages of alone time will not last forever. Okay? So it's purposeful for a time.
Mm.
And that mirror work where you look yourself in the eye and you're saying, I love you, that is huge. What is love? It's a frequency. You don't have to get it. You just have to practice it in the
Mm.
mirror while looking at yourself. And as you say it, you will bring it in. You'll attract it in. One morning you'll wake up and you'll feel vastly different about yourself. So it's just practicing a different frequency. That's all
Yeah,
it
if you're not
is.
the
That's all
best
it
at
is.
knowing what love or feeling what love is, to believe me, the angels, they'll show you over time. They will show you what love is.
They
The
are
universe
pure
will show you.
love.
All you have to do is set the intention, I want more love in my life, or I want this, I want that, and they're gonna help show you in
Yeah.
the weirdest ways. So
They're
it's,
amazing. They'll bring
yeah,
other people into your life that love themselves to show you what it's like
yeah,
when you see another person love. They'll show you people that will come into your life that will love you more than you've ever seen, maybe even with your own family members. They will shower you with love more than you can
yeah.
imagine. Yeah,
Most
it's
people
crazy.
never know even what self-love really
Yeah,
is until they like
because no one's taught
they
them.
kind of pander it like, oh yeah, self-love, that's
Yeah.
great, blah blah blah, but they don't actually know
Mhm.
how to actually love themselves
And
because
some,
part of the reason is because they've never seen anyone else in their life that actually loves themselves. Their parents don't
yeah,
really, and blah blah blah.
no one's
No
taught
one
them.
no one loves themselves, so it's a lot of times it's easier to find if you find other people. The angels will bring you other people that
Yeah.
really do have that self-respect, that self-love, and then you kind of model it after that. You're like, oh, okay, that's what it's supposed to look like, and you're
Yeah.
like, wow, this feeling's totally different. And especially in men, that's a
Yeah.
huge thing, and that a lot of women
Yeah.
they come to me for readings and all kinds of stuff. The men in their lives, they don't have any self-love. They're just kind of like checked out, and they're not connected to their
Banging.
emotions or
I
connected to their heart.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, but
banging around
yeah,
out there. That's what I vibrationally. But we can pull it right. We can pull the reins back in and stay very focused on what we want to create. It could be self-love, it could be abundance, it could be whatever you want. You would then maybe even attract an abundance angel to your team or an angel to your team to help you self-love. And that angel will work with you until you get it. And then that angel may go off and leave because it's not needed any longer. It's amazing what I see. Okay, Nina, let's dive in. I'm just going to channel what Archangel Metatron wants you to hear, if that's okay with you. Stubborn. Ooh, at times self-righteous, but that's okay. He likes your will. He likes your spirit. He likes your burning desire, interests, intentions. Just don't let your mind and your energy get away on yourself. Okay. So do you want to describe that a little bit? I would say like your own thoughts getting so centered that you think you're right. You think that what you're doing is the only way, the only path. So you stay so locked. That's what indigos do, by the way. So you stay very locked and centered. I would know because I've done this myself. And then you're not, when you're locked in like that, you're not seeing any of the other paths ahead that the angels or Metatron could show you. So almost like ease back a bit and follow your heart, follow your intuition rather than being heady. It's okay to be in your head when it's needed, but not all the time. He's talking about you being sharp with interests and intentions, which is good, but don't let your mind run away on itself. So maybe you're going to take action steps or say things that just there's no filter. So you just say them without thinking as much, and then the ramifications of that. So just hang back more, create more stillness, let your heart guide you, and he will help steer you as well. But he doesn't want to dampen this flame within you, this fire in you, because that's also necessary. But to bring it to the forefront when it's needed and to take the fiery flame within you and activate it, use it when the heart says so. And
And Inga, if
do
you have a more specific question, it'd be easier because, yeah,
and
go ahead.
don't let this fire burn other people. So this intention of this flame within you, this feistiness in you, don't let it light up other people. Like don't burn other people with it. You're definitely an indigo. There's no question. Because there are some times where we feel so forthright that we say things or do things that without maybe meaning to harm or hurt other people, which is a part of why we're here. We're here to help humanity. We're here to help other people, but we gotta allow other people to be as they choose too. It's their free will in a free will zone if they choose. The angels remind me of this all the time.
Okay, so Tina's thing, is it possible to see if Metatron could share any advice for me stepping into my purpose? It has been a very challenging process for me and find myself stuck and can't move forward. Thank you.
I feel like I'm sitting at home, I'm alone in my own thoughts. I feel like I'm in almost like quicksand or I'm stuck, I'm stagnant.
Mhm.
And I'm going
I feel like
through,
there's also a thing where you think that something is your purpose, but it's really not, or it doesn't have to be that, or it can be something that you kind of want to do, uh, but it's not like some set thing. So not what I'm getting.
the other thing here is like doing little things like going to spiritual classes on meetup.com or online or meeting others maybe in the spiritual community or learning how to meditate or learning how to do angelic Reiki healing piecemealing little things to get the energy going. We don't necessarily have to do these things for a living, but it's a nice notch on the belt, and it's something that you can use to help your loved ones. But it's all about getting the energy moving.
I said,
Exercise,
Inga, I said if you have a
cardiovascular.
more specific question, it's going to be easier for us to pick up on something. If it's more general like that, I don't really tap into those as much, but we can if we want to.
So it's cardiovascular exercise also gets the energy and the blood pumping through the body. And if we're sitting kind of binge eating in front of the TV for comfort, that's okay for a time, but it's not okay for forever. This is what I'm getting there. It's not healthy for forever. And, but we all know if we do cardiovascular exercise, then maybe we can take some cheat days or have some moments, but all the time comforting ourselves. Okay. Anything else? The eating in front of the TV is just one aspect of different ways that we comfort ourselves. Uh, you know, it could be having a couple glasses of wine, or it could be whatever. We are really medicating ourselves with food and alcohol and maybe weed right now with what's going on in the world. But what they'd like us to do is eating a whole food diet, right? So that's foods that ground you, help you feel good, nutritious, value, and going outdoors in nature and grounding our energy. Mhm.
Yeah, I've been guilty of being on my phone way too much.
Oh, there's another example. Yeah.
I've been guided to visit certain places which are stargates. Is there any?
Mhm.
Yeah, the reason I
Oh,
said
yeah.
ask more specific questions, Inga, because if you want a more general answer, a general message, then that's what happens when you ask a general question. So if you want
Mhm.
a more specific, something more specific, it's going to be easier for us to pick up on the information, and it's to direct the energy in a more specific direction as well. So that's just the only reason why I said that. So this person's been guided to visit certain places which are stargates. Is there
Yeah. A lot of
anything
people
Metatron could tell me of I need to do in such places?
A lot of people have been coming to me lately. They're drawn to going to Egypt. They're going to Egypt. They're going to different locations and they're pulled to go there or near a lake in Ontario. And I get people coming to me like relentlessly lately. And by the way, if you're really drawn to Egypt a lot of the time, you most likely have had Lyran lifetimes. Okay. So there's the inner, it's like when people are drawn to France and they go to visit Mother Mary in
Mhm.
what was that cave there. Is the energy that's emitted there. So
Yeah.
it's almost like it's good for you to go off and go on adventures to locate these areas as long as they're nearby,
Mhm.
preferably to have fun, to enjoy the outdoors, to enjoy the energy that is being emitted from these locations.
Mhm. What you need to do, Infinity, is just go to these locations, get some crystals, and set them up in specific geometric patterns, and you
He's
just have to do
teasing,
it
by
that
the
way.
way.
Yeah, no, I'm just no, I'm just joking. You don't have to do that. I think a lot of times it's just to have experiences in these new locations.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of these locations, we may feel guided to go there or be guided to go there. Maybe our energy is meant to be there. Maybe it's meant to, whatever it is, meant to or not. But in reality, I feel like we're meant to have experiences. That's a huge thing. And you can take things from every experience and also gain a new perspective. You're like, wow, that country's interesting. I'm glad I live in my country or something. I'm more thankful now that I
Yeah.
live in the country that I live
Appreciative
in or
gratitude.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
If
also part of it too.
and if you're indoors all the time, if you're inside or you're working a lot, they're going to get you out to go check out these locations to get you out of the house. And
Hmm.
when you go there, like they were like, go downtown and get a tarot reading like 18 years ago. I was like, what? I don't do tarot. So I go downtown and I get a tarot reading. Cards are pulled. Okay. My aunt says, come on over to my house. And then she goes, guess what? We're all doing everybody.
Oh,
Surprise, surprise. So I was just trying to type in the comments. I was just going to say I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of Halloween videos on my YouTube channel. So if you guys love Halloween like I do,
like Hocus Pocus,
yeah, if
go
you
watch.
want if you want to learn a lot and have fun, come check out my channel, my YouTube channel, Kristin Davies, and I'm going to be doing a lot of fun Halloween videos every week. So throughout the month of October, I'm going to do about 2 videos a week. Come and check it out if you want to have some fun. All right, you guys. If you guys want to sign up for the Mediumship for Beginners course, that's coming October 19th to the 25th, and it's $111 only. And it's KristinDaviesMedium.com. I have a lot of other cool classes coming up, like learning more about Bigfoot and learning about your pineal gland and how to open and expand that. And other than that, come and check out the Halloween specials coming up on my
And so
YouTube.
your course isn't it? There's a discount right now,
Yeah,
isn't there?
30% off.
Okay. So, and how much would that make the course?
185, but
So, wow.
I have it at 111. Okay.
Okay.
So
Wow,
you
that's
guys, if you feel like
impressive.
coming and having fun with that, it's a super positive experience. You'll learn a lot of things that the angels teach over the
Mhm.
years. And of course, if you guys want to come and hang out and have fun over the Halloween month, October, come and check it out.
Yeah, this is how I learned your channel through one of her
Mhm.
courses, and that really kind of helped open me up and allowed me to not be like fearful about connecting because there's this huge thing in the spiritual community where it's like, oh, you should be scared of connecting or channeling or whatever, but really it's not that big of a deal. It's our divine birthright to be able to channel and to communicate with our soul family or with spirit, everything. So
This,
it's really important. Part of our spiritual awakening, I feel like, is to really tap into these things. And it's really awesome course, and it's very cheap compared to a lot of courses out there. And a lot of people are doing like all of these elite mentorship programs for 6 weeks and stuff like that, and it's just kind of draining. And it's kind of one-sided, and there's someone kind of telling you what to do the whole time. But really, this is just 1 week. You get to come into it, come out to it, and you learn a whole lot after the course as well because it helps kind of open you up to a whole new world.
yeah.
And I think that's really cool.
I look at it like a gift, and we all have it. We're born with it. Everybody's doing it all the time, a lot of the time unconsciously. So then we're just going to move you in a direction of doing it consciously. And it's a great blessing and it's a great gift that you can connect in with your high vibrational team during times when you need them the most to help guide you and give guidance and help you. So yeah, it is the best, in my
Mm.
opinion.
So Michael Matthews is saying he was talking about he was trying to practice channeling, and then this wave of energy like ringing in his ears,
Perfect.
and he's getting lightheaded. Like, what is
It's
this?
the
Well,
energy step
that's yeah.
forward
They're trying to communicate with you,
through your
and
chakra centers.
mhm.
And if it's too much lightheadedness, you just ask them to step back a bit.
A lot of people just don't know what to look for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get spirits trying to
Exactly.
communicate with you, but you just don't know what to look for. And that's what we touch in the course. You may get pressure on the side of your head. So it's just about practicing that. Oh, and that's what the course is for you to practice and to practice with other people, and so that you
If you
can,
want, in the
yeah,
comments
yeah,
or on camera with
hmm
one of the medium teachers. So you can
hmm
do it in the comments or you can do it live. It's up to you. But it's all
hmm
private and it's held in a private group.
yeah.
So it's only the students that see it and only the students that get the course content emailed to them to download afterwards so you can watch it for years down the road. Okay.
Okay, so last question before we kind of sign off. So Journey of Tarot. So I was channeling in spring and haven't had an experience since then.
Mhm.
Will it ever come back?
Well, little ways that it can come back is ear ringing, silence on the side of the head tells me that an angel is nearby me because it takes out all noise. Ear muffing, cupping is usually a soul trying to get my attention or ascended master, which is a soul that's incarnated on earth. So it's just a matter of stilling your mind long enough for you to hear the thought forms formed in your mind, which at first will sound like your internal
Hmm.
voice, right?
Yeah,
So
it might not be like an intense experience like you had before or something. They
or
really came in strong or something. It's not going to always be 100% clarity all the time.
Mhm.
So I think it's
It
just
takes
about, tapping
practice.
in. Yeah,
And that's
practice.
why this is why I run these courses. It's about practice, meeting others that are similar and like yourself, having a high vibrational good time with each other. And that's what it's all about. Mhm.
Candy saying, I feel the goosebumps feeling on the
Yep.
scalp thing. Yep, that's a huge one
My
with
guardian angel loves to do this on my
mm,
head. Well, this is where you have Lorna Byrne, who has a book called Angels in My Hair. Great read. And the angels are playing in her hair. Okay. So, so it's just a matter of picking up on it. Yeah.
so we'll just do this last one here. Is there any questions of or any messages providing clarity on some of the darker and vivid dreams I've been experiencing lately? Thank you in advance. It's for
when
Megan.
we when we have this light frequency pummeling our body when we go to bed at night, it can create really intense vivid dreams, and I don't try to analyze them during this time because I know the mind can't comprehend what's happening with all of this light bombardment through the vessel, including your mind. So the mind, you're sleeping and you're getting bombarded with light, and then your mind is going to go off in all kinds of different vivid
Yeah,
directions because it doesn't understand what's happening with this bombardment. And
yeah,
you're sleeping, and
yeah,
they pick these moments when you're sleeping purposely
yeah,
because you're nice and relaxed. Get them now.
yeah. And it's like this light frequencies coming in, and sometimes it's our subconscious releasing and expelling certain things too. So it's not necessarily that we need to overanalyze it, is it? So it's just like it's like shadow work. Do we need to overanalyze every negative thought or this or that? Not necessarily. Sometimes it's better just to let them go and let it go and say, hey, that was a pretty intense dream, angels. Can you kind of help kind of vacuum some of this off of
That's
me because that was kind of intense.
that's literally what I am hearing is that
Mhm.
while you're sleeping, you in particular that's asked this question, I'm getting the word clearing. So not only are you getting filled up with high vibrational light, but the heavier energy, maybe from certain experiences in this lifetime or other incarnations that you've had, is getting cleared out. And when that gets cleared out, what does it make room for? More light. So
Mhm.
they're clearing you as well,
Yep, you're
clearing out low vibrational thoughts.
before long, you're just gonna be a complete light being like Galadriel from Lord of the Rings.
No
Everything's
one's
going,
perfect, okay? We're
every
here on Earth.
yeah, everything will be perfect. And once you awaken, this is the new Earth. Everything's perfect.
Then we're going to
Everything's
get on
great.
the boat and we're going to go off into the light, the sunset, and we're going off into their equivalent of Valhalla. But while we're here, let's make it as good of a ride as we possibly can until we get on the boat and go towards the light. All right, everybody. Thank you so much.
All
Remember,
right,
if you love Halloween as much as I do, come check out my YouTube channel, Kristin Davies, because I'm about to upload a lot of fun, awesome content.
I'm about to upload zero Halloween content, so go over to Kristen's. It's more of a women's thing, Halloween. Just kidding.
That's right.
All
All
right,
right.
bye
Love you
everyone.
guys. Bye.